Hello, and welcome to another episode of Intune.training, the place to learn how to use Microsoft Intune, the Steve and Adam Show. Steve and Adam.
Hey, I'm
Steve.
That's
Hey.
Adam.
Yes.
How are you going?
Man, it's amazing that you still got the right order. You still got it.
Yeah.
It's good after so many
Sometimes.
episodes. It's great.
Oh, occasionally we actually get something consistent-ish.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, whatever. Speaking of consistent, we consistently recommend that you should set up company branding whenever you're setting up a new tenant. And it seemed, I remember this when we did this 5 years ago, Steve. I was like, this is weird. Why are we doing this? And also, if you watch that video, and you really should go back and watch it, it's amazing. You get to watch Steve and I struggle with Photoshop for like 20 minutes, it seemed.
Easily.
So we've saved you that agony. This time
we're organized now.
We've already made the logos. We'll find out how well they actually worked. We at least made some placeholder logos.
Exactly.
So Steve, why the heck are we having an entire video around company branding, and why does it matter?
Cool. So look, the main reason why we want to talk about company branding is when you're doing autopilot and device registration, this is the front door to your tenant. And more importantly, when you do autopilot, if you don't have anything set up in company branding, it looks like you haven't actually set up your autopilot correctly. Even though it's actually applying, it just doesn't appear correctly. So this is where we're trying to make it so you don't run into the same issues that I know I've definitely ran into, and I'm sure Adam's ran into, where it's like, I thought I applied an autopilot profile, and you go through Intune, you're like, well, why is this not here? Why is this not here? Oh, it's actually applying, but I forgot to turn on company branding. So
fun fact, Steve. We've encountered exactly that problem in our production environment where we had some devices that got misregistered into the wrong tenant that got shipped to us. And we try to go autopilot, and we've had them where they've shown up with the logo from the other company. Great, easy visual indicator. We know exactly what's going on there. We've had some other devices that have had the same back-end problem. They definitely are registered to another tenant. We can go and confirm that, digging through the registry and all that stuff. But the branding looks like Microsoft. And so what it makes you think is, that's really strange, but is it just not getting my policy? Because like it's sort of there, but it's not. And so, so this is definitely, it's one of those things that you could absolutely do without, but it makes a heck of a lot of difference when your boots are on the ground and you're trying to work through this stuff. Highly, highly recommend just put some basic branding in there. Now, a couple points on this. When you do this for your enterprise, you want to make sure you've got your marketing or public affairs folks involved in the branding to make sure that you're send it to their graphic designer guy and say, hey, or gal, say, hey, please make me the logos that fit these sizes.
I reckon I can make my logos better, and they're going to be perfect. I don't think I'll get any complaints from any of the marketing team.
Yeah, one of my tenants has just Adam typed some colored text in Paint one time and used those. But this really does become a very public-facing thing when your users are doing MFA or any sort of logging into the cloud consoles and stuff. They're going to see this branding, and so you do want to make sure that it adheres to your company standards. You want to make sure that it fits the correct styles. But then also there are scenarios where, okay, if you're using dark mode versus light mode, does your logo show up properly? Making sure that you've got some of that. So it's little silly things, but it really does make a lot of difference. And so if you're setting this up for the first time, make sure that you're taking those things into consideration. With all that said, let's just do it and walk through it. See?
Cool. All right. So I'm just going to drop it onto the screen. So we're in the entra.microsoft.com portal. We're keeping it super simple. We're using the new portals because we learnt last time trying to hold on to the old portal really dates your video very quickly. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go under identity And then we are going to look here and go show more, and you'll see, and let's see if we get this right. I think it's user experience company branding. There we go. So we need to specify that company branding. This tenant already had a default company branding in there, which we've taken out and we've removed, but we're going to go in and override the top of it. If you don't have a default profile, company branding, you'd just go in here and you'd go add, and you'd create that default one.
Oh, it's also worth noting, if you've watched along this far, this is our kind of already pre-created tenant that we're working from. So you'll notice the sign-in is a little different than what we had in our last video. Don't worry about that. It's irrelevant for the stuff moving forward.
Exactly. And we'll cover over those domain names off the top in the coming videos. So it's not a real concern. It's just we've got some stuff in the back end working around that. So we're going to start off. We're going to select our fave icon. So do you know what a fave icon is, Adam?
Yes, it's the thing that shows up in the browser bar.
This one here?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, it is. So all websites have this faveicon.ico file. For AAD or Entra ID, we're using a PNG file or JPEG. So we've already pre-created it, as we discussed. Let's see if we actually got it right.
And also, just, for conversation's sake, I'd be interested to know who calls it a fav icon versus a fave icon, because I call it fave because it's short for favorite, but technically it probably would be pronounced fav icon if it was, a real word.
Depends on the accent, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So let's start an argument.
Exactly.
GIF versus GIF.
Exactly. So we've got our nice icon here. And now we're going to select our background image, which we've already pre-created here. You may notice a theme on how we're doing things here.
Oh, and all I did was I opened up my favorite editor and took our one logo and I just made it, resized the canvas to match whatever the requirement was. So that is it.
So we're going to pick a blue of some sort if I can get my mouse to work correctly.
Blue screen of death, blue. Just let it go. Just let it go.
I am.
Guess you're going to have to type the hex code in.
Now it's working. Cool. That was weird. That looks blue enough to me. And we're going to hit next. So this is new compared to what we had 5 years ago. We have the ability to do a full screen option or a partial screen option. We have the ability to do show or hide header and show or hide footer. We're going to turn on the headers and footers because we'll go through why shortly. The other option, and this is super, super cool, is I have the ability to upload my own CSS configuration for my page. And I'll just go, hey, let me render that for you. I've personally not done it, but it looks really awesome.
Yeah, I like that it really is, company branding and allows you to follow your company's style guides and stuff.
Yep.
And I think that's really great.
Definitely. So it's pretty cool. And we're going to go and now do our header. So this is the header that comes along the top of the page, which we're going to specify here as header. It looks fantastic. Our footer. So why footers are important, and it gives us the ability to put in our privacies and cookies of, hey, look, we have cookies. Yum. And please use add-on. So this is where you can put in your terms of use and your any statements you have around cookies. You can obviously turn those off if you don't care, but this is where we're just sitting there and we're putting in some text so you see what it looks like on the screen. The next part that we're going to set is our banner logo. So in here, did we get a banner logo?
I didn't name it that way, probably.
So what we can do here is we can go and look at dimensions.
I know I made one. I don't know which one it is.
So the dimensions field here is fantastic because it can tell you which one you need to do. So it's the same as the header. Yeah. And then from there, we've got our square logos, which are default.
So there's the light theme.
Light
That
theme.
That should be that one.
And then we got our
theme
dark
should be the
theme,
white logo.
which we probably won't see.
Correct.
So this is when you're actually putting in a theme, the minimum that I'd recommend is that username hint, because it just needs a field for it to be created. So we're going to leave this one blank because we're not going to worry about domain names right now.
Okay. Well, but while we're here, you would put something like adam@intune.training or username @intune.training, as the username hint.
Yeah. Intune.training. Or realistically, rather than putting a name, you'd put username.
Yeah.
No. So you can call that out.
And then the users will be like, I'm putting it in exactly like it's written, and they're going to
Yep.
put those special characters in there.
Yep.
That's what
we know that, but that's okay. And then we hit save. So that's the authentication component we've branded. Fantastic. Cool. But there's actually additional branding we can do on the M365 side. And this is where we're going to go across to admin.microsoft.com. And in here, we're going to go to settings, and then we're going to select org settings. Under org settings, we have the ability to configure organizational profile, and then we can specify our custom themes. So these custom themes are what you're going to see along the top of the ribbons and when you go into Bing and things like that. So we go here and we go specify our logo. We're going to remove. How do we set this?
Oh boy. Try dropping down the URL.
Upload. There we go. Thank you, Adam.
We've not tested this, but yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops. We have to store that somewhere?
Yeah. And this is the...
so this is the light theme, default light.
Default light. And this is the 200 by 48. We see that because we clicked on this logo button earlier. And that will come in, and then we're going to do the same here. But you note that I can't browse.
Yes.
So we're not doing a dark theme.
I think they need to fix that, probably.
And we can go in here and we can go specify our navigation bar. We're going to just go pick a blue.
Well, that's close to blue.
Close enough. And we're going to hit save. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back here. And yeah, we can't actually upload our image. That's fantastic. Cool.
Oh, well.
It's all good. So this is where we want to show.
Go back. That was actually neat. The one-click
link. So we can go Intune.training. We hit save.
So that means anywhere where they see that logo, they'll be able to click on it and get somewhere.
And we're also going to show username in the, I'll display the user's name, which is pretty cool. And we're also making it, no, you have to use my theme because my theme's most important.
If you say so, sir.
I think so. So that should apply pretty quickly. So if we go portal.office.com, and there's our new logo at the top corner. And yes.
And if you go to intune.microsoft.com,
Microsoft.com.
You may have to open another browser to try this. Yeah.
So what we'll quickly do here, we'll just close out of that browser. We're going to open it up again. What you'll notice here is I've got corporate branding here automatically as well. And that's from the Bing search. So that means that I'm going to be searching in the Intune training tenant. So if we then go in intune.microsoft.com, and I'll probably auto sign in. So what we're going to quickly do is we're just going to sign out here. And we're going to click back on this one. Let's see if it auto signs in, and it probably will.
Yep. So if you just do sign in as a different user, you'll see the experience there. Yep. But hey, there you go. Look at that.
So use another account, and then what we're going to do, I'm going to go off screen and quickly copy my username. I'm going to go next, and you'll see that it's got all of the branding, and you've got Intune training is awesome, because it is. And then we're going to go sign in. And I definitely want to remember my password and stay signed in. Cool. And then the other thing that we didn't really plan for, but I think we should also call out here, Adam, is you can go to that tenant administration and you can do the customization here for the end user experience.
Oh, yes. Yes. Good call.
So this is where we can brand what the company portal itself will look like. So if you're new
to this, the company portal is the main application that needs to be on any device that's going to have any connectivity to Intune. So if it's fully managed or if it's partially managed MDM or MAM, either way, you're going to have the company portal on that device. And so this allows you to customize what that experience looks like as well. So definitely highly recommend doing this. We actually stumbled on this like well into our series originally. It was not something that we had originally done, but this is definitely a good thing to
let's go out with the dark theme.
That looks nice.
And then we go here and we want to go the light theme and upload brand image greater than.
So the brand image is that one that shows up as just the kind of nothing page.
Cool.
And we'll come back and do other additional customizations. But so if you save this, actually make sure that I want to say that there was a link. Maybe a link somewhere here that takes you
privacy statement.
No. One that takes you to the company portal web browser so you can see it.
I think once you save it.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think once we save it. So what you'll note here is the privacy statement URL is actually required. So
Intune.training.
Of course. Intune.training. Because that's where all of our privacy statements are located. And then you can go through and you can do a whole heap of additional components for enrollment and everything associated. Right now, we're not going to go through and do a huge amount of customization. One of the cool things now, though, is you can hide reset button and hide the remove and reset for all of the devices. But that's for let's your whole tenant, not groups.
And even more so, the thing here is that you can actually target your customization policy to different groups now.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, you can make different customizations for different groups. So see, there you go.
That's
so you
can down here, customers.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep. So you could potentially have different branding bundles for different folks. There you go. That's what I was looking for, that preview.
Yep. So what I've done here, viewers, is I've hit this blue text here, preview customization of the company portal. We're going to go sign in with our fancy account.
So glad you made this tenant in the US.
Yeah, so am I.
It's a lot faster for me.
It is. So what you'll see here is now I have the company name and the IT logo.
Try the hamburger.
Then we hit the hamburger.
Do the My Profile. There you go. So that's the that other
background
graphic there.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
So it doesn't quite fit, but you get the picture, right?
We didn't plan for that one.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing you'll note here is if we then go, I think it's help desk. No. Where's the privacy one?
It's at the very bottom.
Oh,
Intune training privacy terms. Yeah.
And click on that, and we read policy.
Oh,
look.
How did we get there? Oh,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think that covers off what we were planning to go through here, Adam.
Certainly looks like it. I hope so. Okay, so at this point, you should have a tenant. You should have Intune available, ready to go. You should have some company branding. And the next thing should be, hey, we're ready to provision some things. So if you want to get prepped for the next video so you can follow along like you're, following along with a cooking show, get you some Windows 11 VMs spun up and get you some test mobile devices and all those things. Go raid the raid the closet at the office if you've got some spares laying around. Now, actually, I will say that before we get into that, you'll need to have like the Apple Business Manager and all those sorts of things configured and everything. So we'll get into a lot of that in the next video, but you should definitely be able to follow along with provisioning a VM at the very minimum on the next round here. So thanks for following along. Thank you. That's it for now.